Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk to you about vinyl buying dilemmas, uncomfortable situations that as vinyl collectors we find ourselves in. At least I have recently had a few things that I've done and purchased recently that I just find myself in a situation where do I say something? Do I return something? What do I do? One of these dilemmas is not a problem for me, but I think for a lot of you that watch the channel might be a problem for you. And I would be very curious as to what your reaction or your comments will be about that. What would you do in these vinyl dilemmas? And in between all of that, I also have some very cool record finds that I want to show you, things that I've picked up along the way that are spectacular records. So if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell. Everything you do helps my channel to grow. Let's go ahead and get started with a couple of 45s that I think are really cool. Honestly, one of them I didn't even know existed. I picked them up for cheap and I'm just thrilled about. So I know a lot of you aren't into 45, so I'll go really quickly on this. First off, this is Blue Oyster Cult. This Ain't the Summer of Love. I didn't even know that single existed. It took me forever to find Don't Fear the Reaper, but to find this one is so cool and it sounds fantastic. So I was so excited to find the single for that, as well as one I just never see. A really pretty nice Casablanca sleeve, and it is Kiss from The Elder, the song A World Without Heroes, backed by Dark Light, and it is such a fantastic B-side. The guitar solo that Ace does is incredible, and it's all on here. So those are two 45s I thought I would never find. And so we'll move on and talk about a 45 box set, and this is where one of the dilemmas begins here. I ordered the Rolling Stones. It's a really cool box set. This is the singles from 1963 to 1966. So no doubt they're going to be putting out more of these 45s box sets. I wanted to have this one. I have the Beatles, CCR, Kiss, Van Halen, all of my favorite bands. I like buying these singles. I do play them. They're all opened and have been enjoyed to some degree. It's just a matter of I didn't know if I wanted to pick this one up because the price was so high, and there's going to be more of them coming out. So that's going to be maybe a little bit more money than I want to pay. But it's a cool box set, and on Amazon, there was like a 12-hour span where I'd kind of been watching the price of this closely because it's been coming down. One day, it was just at a price that I thought, okay, I'm never going to see it at this price again, and I pulled the trigger and bought it. Problem is, when I got it, this box set was not in any box. It was just delivered in a bag. So you can imagine a little bit of damage, but not as bad as I thought it would be. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of a corner ding on here, a little bit of a corner ding on here. Nothing too major, but enough that if a collector wanted to buy this from me, it would not be considered mint. Of course, I'm going to open and play it, so it's never going to be considered mint anyway. But, you know, it's Amazon. Should I reorder it and hope for the best that they send it to me and I get a better one in better condition? I could do that. There's the risk that they're just going to keep sending this the same way and I keep returning things over and over again. I've had that situation happen where they kept sending the wrong record and I ended up getting charged for so many records that I ended up having to call them, spending 20 minutes on the phone getting it corrected. That was a pain that I didn't want to deal with. Is it too picky too? This is going to be a playing copy, a box set that I'm going to play. Sometimes, is it okay to just have a little ding, a little place on it? Is that really that big of a deal? So I'm kind of struggling with that. And let's face it, it's just the lazy factor too. I hate doing returns. Even as easy as Amazon makes something to return, I don't want to return it. So what would you do if you were me? This was a price. I can buy another copy. They would honor the same price. That's not the problem. But it was a lot less than what I would have normally paid. But it does have a little bit of some corner dings on it. Is that a big deal? Let me know in the comments what you would do. Would you return it? Would you just open it and enjoy it? I really want to know. And now we'll move on to a killer record. This was a gift given to me by a friend of mine, Mike, in Nebraska. And this is so amazing. This is Kate Bush. This is The Whole Story, and it is a Japanese promo. It's really good, and it has the two songs that I already knew on it, Wuthering Heights and Running Up the Hill. Make sure I get that title correctly. Yeah, Running Up That Hill. So fantastic. A really cool, in beautiful condition Japanese promo. This goes for a little bit of money now, and it's hard to get. There are more people wanting this record than actually own it. So I feel very special. It's just a very cool gift to be given. Thank you, Mike. Mike is my friend. He's been so generous to me. But even if he didn't send me any records, I just really appreciate his friendship and our talks about vinyl records. We really have a good time talking about vinyl. So thank you, Mike. Okay, so these next two records I'm going to show are really cool. I found them at a store. I'm not going to name the name because another dilemma came up, and I don't want to out them or give them bad publicity by any means. So really cool store. There was some great stuff there, and I did find a couple of really cool records. Let me show you the two I found. Okay, so Let It Bleed. Now, this is an original, but it is in such pristine condition. There's no corner bends. It's just absolutely beautiful. And of course, it comes with the amazing poster. I just showed this poster a couple weeks ago. I've been very lucky to find the posters when it comes to this record. A lot of people are still searching for them, but I have a few of them now, and it's a very cool poster. So that is the poster for Let It Bleed. Amazing record. One of my favorites by the Stones. Set this down here. And what's also cool about this one is it came with a fan club insert. It says, "Are you a member of the Rolling Stones fan club?" None of my other copies had that in it before, so I thought that was amazing. And also the London stereophonic. It's just absolutely pristine, and it sounds great. I know it's not a UK version. I can only imagine what the UK version would sound like. This is just superb. So I'm very happy with that purchase. And it was $20. You get the first pressing in great shape, the poster, that fan club insert. I paid only $20 for it, so I was very happy about that. Here's another one that I found at this store. It was really cool. Jethro Tull, Stand Up. You guys, if you know this record, you know what's so cool about it. You open the gatefold, and let me turn it around this way for maximum impact here. Voila! Isn't that cool? And honestly, this is a really good record. I just listened to it last night, cleaned it up, and oh my gosh, this is really good. I put it almost up there with Aqualung, maybe not quite, but I really like this record, and it's on this old Reprise label. I think Reprise records sound very good. So, bought those two records at this wonderful record store, and I had already purchased these two records. And there was someone in the stereo equipment area needing help. But something caught my eye, and I had to ask the store owner, "What is this?" And he said, "Oh, that is a record from a record store day many, many years ago, and I just have a couple of extras left." I was like, "Are you kidding?" I thought that was really great to get an official record. Well, it's of Crying in the Night by Buckingham Nicks. He told me it was a record store day record, and I quickly purchased it and left the store because he was getting ready to wait on another customer. But when I got home and did my research, this is a counterfeit. It is not an official pressing, nothing to do with record store day. And I paid $15 for it. So I wouldn't have bought it at all if I knew it was a counterfeit. And I mean, the upside to this, it's really cute. It's on red vinyl. It sounds really good. It does. And it's a mono version on one side, a stereo version on the other. I prefer the stereo. I think it sounds better, but they're both really cool and it's nice to have both. So I don't have any complaints about the quality of that, except for it's just, I thought it was something that it wasn't. The question I would ask you guys, if you had bought something like this and it was not represented correctly, would you call or send a message to the record store owner, let them know that they made the error and said the wrong thing, so that they don't do that to someone else that comes in, and that they know what they have and they can say it honestly? I'm gonna give the store owner the benefit of the doubt that maybe he bought it a long time ago and he honestly didn't remember and he thought it was record store day release. I don't really know. It might have been just something he said to get me to buy it. I'm gonna believe he's an honest person and that he just said it wrong. So leave in the comments below. Would you let him know? I'm not returning it. I live too far away. It's gonna be a long time before I ever go back to that store, if I ever go. And so I just don't know what to do with that. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Now, the next couple of records are really cool records that I purchased from Riverbend Records. Billy Hurst, the owner of the store, has been doing Monday night auctions at 7 o'clock Central Time here in America. And I have so much fun just watching them. I don't buy every single time, although I buy enough. Right now, I am on a hold because I'm expecting to buy that Riverside Recordings Analog Productions Bill Evans box set. So I'm trying to not buy as much. But anyway, I love watching those. They're on Facebook. If you ever get a chance to watch the Riverbend record auctions, I highly recommend. It's a good time and you'll probably end up finding something. And here's something that I found. A while back, let me take this out. There's so much of a glare. A while back, I found a sealed copy of this at another record store and I got it home and played it. It was defective. So I got my money back from that record store owner. Billy had a copy of this in the sale and I bought it. And after the sale, I asked him, I said, would you mind, please open it, give it a listen before you send it my way, because I was afraid that maybe a whole batch of these records were bad. So he cleaned it for me. He didn't have to do that, but it was very kind of him to do. He put it in his ultrasonic cleaner. He played it. He assured me it sounded really good, and it does. So I now finally have Maggot Brain by Funkadelic in my collection. So really happy to have that. And also from Billy and Riverbend Records. This is a very cool Rock and Roll Over by Kiss. And this is the record club pressing, where if you look closely, you can see Paul Stanley. He has those blue teardrops, probably just a printing error that has now become a little bit of a collectible. I had Rock and Roll Over, but mine had some surface noise. This was a mint copy with the very cool cover. So I'm really happy with that as well. So those are really cool ones. If you get a chance, check out Riverbend Records vinyl auctions. They're on Monday nights, 7 o'clock Central Time here in the US. So here is another record that I want to recommend because it's very, very cool. It sounds incredible. The originals go for a ton of money. I bought this one from the In Groove, and it is Chris Isaak. This is the Record Store Day Essential of Heart-Shaped World. Let me take the vinyl out of here. I had never heard the full album. I love the song Wicked Game, and I gave this one a listen, cleaned it up. It's just a great sounding pressing. This reissue, I put it up there with the Roxy Avalon release, the Roxy Music Avalon reissue. It just sounds fantastic. And I love the song Heart-Shaped World. Of course, Wicked Game is such an incredible song. I really, really like the song Don't Make Me Dream About You. That was one that it just grabbed me. It's a little bit of a rockabilly, and yet he's got such a intellectual voice when he sings. I just really love it. So this is a really solid album. There's not a bad song on here. It has the really cool Sun label on white vinyl. So really happy to have that one in the collection. And now I'm going to talk to you about a couple of more records that are ones that might create a dilemma for you. Didn't for me, because it's about Mobile Fidelity. And of course, we all know now that a lot of the Mobile Fidelity records that we assumed were analog, all analog, now have a digital step when they're creating the reissues. And so I know a lot of people are really mad, and I'm disappointed. I really am. But at the end of the day, I still like the records that I was hearing 2 months ago today, just as much. They still sound great to me. So, along with all this controversy, I had a really cool opportunity to buy a couple of amazing releases from Mobile Fidelity that I really wanted. So, I bought a couple of records off of Discogs. They were from a store called the Nevermind Shop up in Upton, Massachusetts. I've never been to the record store itself, but the record store has their Discogs page. And I found a couple of really cool Bob Dylan records. This is Bob Dylan bringing it all back home, the original master recording. This is the stereo version. I already have a couple of mono pressings. This is one of my favorites from Bob Dylan. I absolutely love this record. I may have to do a Bob Dylan favorite top 10, maybe top 10 favorite records video at some point. This one would be high up there. I really love it. And it's the stereo version, sounds great. And he didn't have the astronomical price on it that other stores and other Discog pages have. He wasn't charging an arm and a leg. So I was like, I got to get this. I love it. And on top of that, he also had this. And this was mind-blowing. This was high on my want list. I missed it when it came out. This is the Mobile Fidelity One Step of Blood on the Tracks. I cannot believe the deal I got on this from the Nevermind Shop on Discogs. Now, a lot of you are going to say, oh, it's still a lot of money. And yes, it is. But I only paid $25 over what it cost several years ago. So this has been out of print and sold out for a very, very long time. Let me try to get some of the glare off of it. There we go. It's been out of print for a very long time. So I feel like paying $25 over what it cost when it came out isn't so bad. Now, it was opened, so I wasn't buying a sealed copy, but it was near mint. It was just opened and beautifully taken care of. It sounds incredible. I just felt like it was a very fair price. For those of you who like to follow this, there were 9,000 copies of this record made. Mine is hand numbered at 6,269. And I now finally have this one. I just wasn't into Bob Dylan. Didn't know how much I loved Bob Dylan at the time when this came out. I've just gotten into him after that. So, here's the dilemma and what I would think. This is no dilemma for me. I'm not as mad at Mobile Fidelity as a lot of you are, and I understand for the people who are furious. I get it. I totally get it. I'm disappointed. They did let us down. But I haven't canceled my pre-orders, and so I'm not against buying from Mobile Fidelity again. I just now know what I'm getting, so I can make that decision based on the information I have now. And Mobile Fidelity on these two purchases of Bob Dylan, they didn't receive a dime. They already got their money for them. I bought from an independent record store. So I'm helping an independent record store by buying these. I'm not helping Mobile Fidelity. But here's the dilemma. If you are really mad at Mobile Fidelity, do you just stop buying no matter what? Do you purge your collection? How far does it go? For me, I'm not going to purge my Mobile Fidelity collection. I still play the records. I still enjoy the records. But for a lot of you who are really, really upset, where do you draw the line? Do you still buy some of the old pressings you missed out on at independent record stores where Mobile Fidelity doesn't make a cent? Or do you take a stronger stand and say, no MoFi, nowhere, no how, never again? I'm just curious, where do you stand on this whole controversy? So those are some of the best records I've purchased recently, as well as some of the dilemmas I'm facing. Let me know about the Buckingham Nicks record. Let me know about the Rolling Stones, what you feel about Mobile Fidelity here a month later. If you live close to the Nevermind shop in Upton, Massachusetts, and that's a store you go to, please let them know how happy I am with the purchase I made from them. It's a fantastic, great service all the way around. So that is my video for today. Please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.